Actually, can everyone hear me without that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
What?
I remember coming across something that ranked kind of like poetry reading points, and one of them was, if there's a mic and you don't use it, you get like 50 points. This is the sort of intermission section of a much longer poem, so I'm going to give you absolutely none of the context. The lights go on. An intermission follows the first few acts. The crowd heads to the jacks and stagehands rearrange the stage behind closed curtains. It's funny what they'll swallow, says the director, knowing they'll be back in a few minutes. Sometimes it's just pastiche, l'ancien versus le nouveau riche, stand-ins for the thing that's fundamental. Employer versus peon, the dictator versus the democrat, the owned, the renter, the family left behind. Though that's for later. But sometimes it's a sort of symphony. The singers and the dancers and the jokes create a night whose bits accumulate into a single memory. A plea for something more than can-can kicks and smoke obscuring the magician's sleight of hand. It's partly luck, no matter how well planned the roster may have been. The critic's pen is brandished like a censor's, arbitrary in its judgment. I liked it better when they did straight drama, much less airy-fairy. Sometimes, though, the story's not so simple. The villain tells good jokes, the hero reeks from honest toil. The lovely heroine who peeks out through the draping of her wimple is not so innocent. The truths we seek in scripted lines, in acts of observation, demand at times a certain complication. Wheels within wheels, the layers of an onion, enigma, ellipses, ambiguity. Take the girl, but give her a nasty bunion. Let the hero die at Wounded Knee, or better yet, make him a betrayer of everything his followers desire, a slick subverter of the 10-point plan. The man of principle becomes a player. Management stays. The workers all get fired, then hired back at half their former wages. In Inkface, or the floorboards of our stages, we now distrust the neat and happy ending. The marriage that endures, the narrative extending forward, rigid and unbending, the happy ever after that they live when the final curtain falls. And the shadows flicker on the dim-lit walls when the footlights do their fade, and the cast returns. And the show's main theme is played in thickets of lush notes, a mesh of cues reminding us to emote. We detect the snare, the hint, something rotten in the air. The lingering effect when the lights are off and the gallery is swept. Well, you can take your doubt and go home if you wish. There's no way out. There's no way out, since this is not an exercise in pure escape. A lukewarm song that thinks it's hot, a family gaffe that's caught on tape. No. This is a twisted monolith, a sculpture set in troubling lines, a sneering reference to a myth, a Flanders field that's strewn with mines. This is a form of history. This is the past that we deserve. This is our joy and misery. Sit down. For God's sake, observe.